So we're just going to have to do it to the cloud. Okay. We are live and in the cloud. Okay. So, I'm just going to get us started. So we wanted to kind of just go back to the basics. We have a lot of new people. This team has been growing rapidly, which is absolutely fantastic. However, obviously, as soon as you step into this business, like, you a leader, okay? I'm not about that life where it's like, okay, waiting for you to prove whatever to me. Like, no, I don't give out the stamp of approval. Your upline doesn't do that. You're here to change people's lives. You're capable. And I think a huge thing that is really, really important that is often missing, especially in this industry, is showing how to teach people how to teach people, if that makes sense, how to teach leadership. And so we wanted to just kind of go back to the basics, back to showing y'all, I guess, not only where you're starting and remembering where you start, but how to show that to the people that you enroll. So I'm gonna just have each person go through. I'm gonna go ahead and let Quinn take it away. She's gonna just talk to us a little bit about some of the basics, that basic knowledge you need when you first start, and the action that you take with that. So I'm gonna mute myself. Quinn, take it away, you sweet woman.
All right. Hi, guys. So I think the Zoom is going to be very important to refer back to more often than we think. A lot of the stuff that we're going to go over is stuff that we hear like every single day on repeat. But I think that when we hear it so much, some of this stuff kind of gets put on the back burner and we forget that it's still pretty basic, but we still need to be doing it. It's basic for a reason and it's here because it works. So I'll just dive right in. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is that it starts with you. We kind of talked on this, me and Serena, on that leadership Zoom last week. But you have to show up and be the person that you want your team to be. If you're not showing up and doing the things, your team isn't going to do that either. You want to be someone that you're duplicating. And if you want a team of leaders, you need to be that leader and you need to show up and do all of these things that you want your team to be doing every day. So one of the biggest things is daily tasks. And this has been a question multiple times, and we hear it a lot of different times and in a lot of different ways from multiple people on the Millionaire Mindset meetings, which is why I think it's really cool that different people lead them all the time, because we get to hear how different people do it differently and why they do it the way they do it. And you can kind of find one that works for you and do it the way that they do it. You can try everyone's and see what you think is best. But bottom line, we should all be doing all these things, and these will be sent in the chats after this Zoom, but posting on your story. We talk about unfolds all the time. So create content, make unfolds, put up something that your following can interact with, like a poll, questions, I don't know, just the interactive things. So do stuff like that has something like a call to action at the end. We'll say that. You need to be posting on your feed 3 times on Facebook, 1 time on Instagram. We'll get into that a little bit later, but algorithms and knowing that. Sorry, going back to posting on your story. I know I wanted to say this. Talking on your story. So like, I understand lives can be very nerve-wracking, but when you do it on your story, your following is still seeing you. They're seeing the real raw version of you. They're hearing your voice. They're putting like a story to the name. They're putting a personality to the name, and they're seeing that. Just your day-to-day, like they want to know who you are. You are not this company. This company is part of you and what you do. But still posting stuff about the company. So post about the 3 steps every single day. Post about other products, post about the business. Sorry, not a live on your story. I guess I just meant like doing a live can be nerve-wracking. And posting on your story is very similar, where there you're talking, you're showing your face, exactly. But you get to re-watch it. So you can watch it, you know what you're talking about, and you can put text over it too. And that helps a lot. Sorry, going on. Other things that we should be doing for daily tasks are adding and removing people from our network. Going through following a bunch of new people. They need to be people that resonate with you. I used to just sit there and just add a bunch of random people just to kind of boost my following. But then you spend a lot more time removing people from, because you start to realize, like, this person is not serving up value. I do not like any of their posts, or they're not even posting. They're not even active. Like, you're going to spend a lot more time removing people from your network. So when you're adding people to your network, just go through and look at their feed and see if it's something or someone that you want to be following. See if they add value to your life. And then this kind of goes hand in hand. I like to do them at the same time, but we need to be interacting. So I struggled for a long time figuring out, like, some of the best ways to interact. So at first I would kind of just scroll through my social media, but Leah brought this up, but it's hard for me to differ between, like, knowing that Facebook and Instagram is now work and not just like scrolling through for pastime. So I used to scroll and just interact, but then I'd kind of get lost in the sauce. So I'm thinking about it as I'm going through stuff, and like when I'm adding people to my network or thinking about removing them, if I go through and I see that there's someone that, like, either I want on my team or I just want to start building a relationship with them, I'm going to like their posts. I'm going to comment on their posts. We should be commenting 4 words or more. That's, again, part of the algorithm on Facebook. You need to react. So do like a heart or like the laugh act. Don't just like. Facebook doesn't like it. So interact with people. That's going to help other people see your stuff more. It's going to help you build relationships. It's huge in this business. And you're going to hear it time and time again, but just know that that is a huge thing, and we should be doing it every single day mindfully. Another really big thing that should be happening daily is personal development. So read a book, listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook. I have a lot of audiobooks, but I've learned that when I listen to them, I kind of just get distracted and I don't really like take it all in. So I need to do books, or the exact opposite. They can't sit down and read. So find what works for you, but find the right kinds of books or podcasts or whatever that's going to speak to you and give you something that you can take away and implement in your personal life, implement in the business, just implement everywhere. Another thing that we should be doing daily for just daily tasks are wishing people happy birthday on Facebook. This is something that I used to kind of like roll my eyes at and like throw it over the shoulder. But this is also going to help get in people's inbox. It's going to help create relationships. And what we're doing is changing lives. It's not just about signing a customer. It's not just about signing a promoter. We're doing it to change someone's life, and a relationship needs to be built first. And that is a really, really great way to create those relationships. And I try to create like 15 to 20 new relationships a day. And that's just like starting the conversation. That was something that first sounded like so much, but you guys, it is so manageable, and it changed my business so much when I started doing that. So I want to start talking about that more, but just creating multiple relationships a day, responding to people's posts and stories, but it needs to be something genuine, not just like, that shirt is so pretty, where did you get it? If you really want to know, ask, but try to find something that like most people wouldn't say about their story. Like, try to make it as genuine as possible. And if you don't have anything genuine to say, don't interact. Just don't do it. People can tell when it's fake, and they can tell like, she's just trying to talk to me about her products. So make it genuine, or don't do it at all. Be creating content every day. That can look different and should look different every day. Making posts, planning them for the week, taking a bunch of pictures, creating an unfold, making a video like for an IGTV. So creating some kind of content every single day. And then every day hopping on at least one Millionaire Mindset meeting. We have a Monday through Friday, AM and PM. Try to make at least one of them work. And then when we have additional Zooms like this one, or like on Sabrina's team, we're doing more on Thursday nights. Try to hop on those. They are a little bit earlier. Some people can Some people can, some people can't, but when there are additional Zooms, just try your best to get on them because they are there for a reason and they're helpful. Moving on to the next subject is just being knowledgeable and resourceful. So we have so many team pages, team chats, all the things, and we have them for a reason. And they all of the information we could need. And your upline is here for you and is here to help you, but you need to go try to find the answers first. So you need to try to be independent and go find it on your own, because if your upline is answering every single thing for you, you're not going to know the answers to some questions when you have your own downline and people are coming to you. So go try to find the answer for yourself. And if you cannot find it, then you go to your upline or go to a team chat or whatever and ask the question and ask how they know that. Where did they find that? Where did they learn that? And go try to figure it out too. And that goes with like a lot of things, but yeah, just try to figure it out for yourself. Go look for the answer. We have not only the team pages and chats, but our cloud office has so many resources. So go look at that as well, and just try to scout everything out. And if you have free time and you've already knocked everything out of your daily tasks, just go look, just like for fun, just go check everything out. Try to find new parts of the pages that you haven't seen before, or new tabs on our cloud office that you haven't looked at before. Another thing I wanted to mention about daily tasks, you'll hear them a lot as IPAs, that's income producing activities. That we'll have a little graphic of that dropped in the chats as well after this. But following up and checking in with your teammates and your customers. So with your team, that can look like one-on-ones, just asking them how they're doing, pointing something out, just being there for them. And then customer service, we want to make sure our customers know that they are not just a number, they're not just a customer. We're doing this, like I said, to change their life. So you need to be there for them and supporting them and making sure that we're knocking off everything that they need. And then my last little bit is working intentfully. So I kind of mentioned this with our daily tasks. So not just going through them just so you can put a check mark by them, but doing them because you know that they are for your business and they're going to benefit you and your business. So going through those daily tasks and learning new things, kind of like I mentioned earlier about like going through the team page or going on your cloud office and learning it. But even with social media, trying to learn new things about social media on your free time. Trying to learn how to be creative with different apps like Unfold or Mojo or Over, or ask your upline for any new apps that they use that you've never heard of before. And then just kind of trying to find yourself. I think that comes a lot with personal development. So in free time, also maybe a different kind of personal development that doesn't relate so much to the business, and maybe try to find like a different topic to listen to. Don't create busy work for yourself. This is something that I have struggled with for a very long time. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, so I try to create other things for me. It is not helpful. Don't do it. Just stick to the basic daily tasks. Like the whole reason we're having this Zoom, stick to the basics. And if you feel like you're not doing enough, try to think about whether you're doing it intentfully or not. So I think that was what I found the answer was, is that I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it with intent. I was doing it just to mark it off my checklist. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about creating content, doing that intentfully. So not just taking a few pictures and being like, oh, that's the one, cut it off, go make your post. If you have time, create the content. So get ready, have like 4 different outfit changes, put your hair in a ponytail, maybe go curl your hair, do some with makeup, some without, like you name it, but change it up so you have content for like, I don't know, I used ones from like 3 months ago. So you create so much if you just mark out like 3 hours, just do it. Try to do it. Yeah, just be mindful when you're creating content. And then last thing is just taking action. Don't just talk the talk. That's kind of what I was doing when I was doing like the daily tasks. Like I was just talking the talk. I was just doing it just to do it. But walk the walk. So like do it intentfully. Don't just say you're going to do all these things. Don't just say you're going to change this many lives. Like go out there and change those lives. You know how to do it. You have it. Go make sure it happens. Sorry, I got like a little heated there and I'm not breathing either. So yeah, that is all I have right now.
Sweet. Thank you, Quinn. I think that's so helpful. I think it's really important to remember that, like, the beauty of this business is that it can be so simple. Like, it does not have to be overly complicated. So if you have a hard time focusing, like myself, like Leah, like we're little squirrels, we get so off topic, make yourself a task list and make sure that your list is, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing every day. You can have a day, see, she's holding up her list. You can have a day where you block in time for content. You can have a day where you're like, okay, I'm going to really focus on customers today and reach out and check in and make sure, they're still doing well, they're loving what they got, check in on results. I'm going to add something extra, so that it's not just going through the motions. It's not just like, okay, check. Like Quinn said, she wasn't working it intentionally for a bit, and she had to kind of reevaluate how she was working and keeping it intentional. So I think that's awesome. Thank you so much, Quinn. If y'all have extra questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll come back and cover them at the end. But we did want to go over some of that, just like basic daily stuff, just so y'all kind of have that on hand. If y'all need help kind of creating your own structure or your own kind of schedule, Kaylee did a Zoom, her and Katie did a Zoom on Sunday. We can find the link for that and tag anyone who needs it. Just let us know in the chat and we'll go tag you in it. But that was bomb. She has such a good schedule. She works very intentionally. She keeps it simple, clean, bright, like appealing. I'm like watching her stuff like, dang, I want to join. Oh wait, I'm already here. Like, she's good. So if y'all need tips and tricks, that's a good resource as well if you want to dive more into that area. Okay, moving on. Leah is one of the most like individual people I know. She just does her own thing. She's so true to herself. She's very her. She is a great representation of being you in this business. And she kind of had to learn how. So I wanted her to share a little bit on that and just kind of talk about content, how she grew in that area, how she creates it. So Leah, take it away, mama.
Hey. Okay, so I want to like explain my starting point in this because we're going back to the basics because there's a lot of new people. When I started, the VIPs weren't even on my checklist because my mindset was terrible, and you cannot create good content until you have a good mindset. So we're always going to be wrapping right back around in mindset. I was also a mean queen, which was really hard to shift that, but I did find alternatives to do so. I will start by saying finding who I was probably the hardest thing ever. I was just at work. I clocked in, clocked out, clocked in, clocked out. So I didn't really have a backstory to share. And like I said, mean queen, I never really shared much on Facebook anyways. I didn't like being vulnerable and I didn't know where to start. So basically, I found myself
Okay, Leah.
a lot of survivors because I did not.
Wait, Leah, can you back it up? I'm sorry, it like cut out your volume. I thought it was just me.
Me too.
Okay, where did I stop?
Mindset, and you waved your arm.
Really, thanks, Corinne.
Sorry.
Okay. So basically, I unfollowed all the thrivers that were on my page. I didn't want to be influenced. I didn't want to be tempted to copy and paste because people see right through that. If you are copying and pasting and on your page and then posting your daily life in your story, it's not going to match. People are going to question who you really are if you're copying and pasting. Also, that's going to trash your algorithms. So I'm a squirrel. I'm going to try and keep everything in order, but there's a lot in content. So I stopped following Thrivers until I worked on my mind. I got who I was, my 5 pillars. If you don't know what the 5 pillars is, there is a Zoom training on it in the team page to go back and look at. And that's different for everybody, but that is your core self. Finding who you are really matters because that's the people that are going to follow you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So find who you are. Don't look sideways. Like, look at where your feet are planted. Look at your journey and find your why. If you don't know what your why is, go read a book. Back out. It's okay. You don't have to post just to post because it's not going to benefit your business. We post 3 times a day because people go to a movie theater 3 times a day. There's 3 showings. You're not going to always hit every single person with one post. And if you're over posting, it's going to mess up your algorithm, and Facebook isn't going to be showing people what you want people to see. So 3 times on Facebook, 1 time on Instagram. And I think most of us just copy and paste that last post from the day before or whatever from our Facebook over. So always create your own content. Don't copy and paste because people will see right through that. Get inspired. Do not wait for it to come to you. I'll talk about that personally. I started this in December. April 10th, I quit my job and I came home full time. This business brought me home for 2 months, paid my bills full time. I shared that. That was my why. I wanted to come home. Throughout those 2 months, I felt like I was locked in prison. I could no longer be in a box all day long and keep a good mindset for good content and good posting because I wasn't living my life and my 5 pillars. My job was one of my 5 pillars. I loved cars. I loved being in the shop. And that being ripped out of my life affected how I portrayed my content. So it's okay for your story to change. Don't be afraid to post your journey and how your life changes. And if your why changes, work with it. Go with it. Have an open mind coming into this and always try and grow daily. If you're in a funk, then get out of it. Go read a book, listen to a podcast. Ask your upline what they do if you're not sure who to listen to. Take time to go take pictures, like Quinn has said. That's a really big deal. What if something happens? What if life happens? I know life has happened a lot recently for me. And being able to take a Saturday and go and hang out with Katie and take a bunch of pictures or anything like that, take a night and edit all the pictures. Y'all, I never used Lightroom until like a couple nights ago. And since I used Lightroom and redid my Facebook, I have gained 100 followers. 100 in like a couple days. This is attraction marketing, and you need your pictures and your content to be attractive. If not, they're going to scroll right past you because it's not like eye-catching. You have to basically be somebody that you would want to follow. Period. Like, you have to be that person that they're like, oh, what is she doing? Like, I want to be like that. And so always prep. You never know what's going to happen. Or if you have something coming up, a vacation or whatever, a date you want to unplug, just have your content ready to post so you don't stop with your intentional daily tasks, your basic knowledge that Quinn had spoke about. Lightroom, that's another thing. Like, if you don't know how to use it, it took me 8 months to actually sit down and do it. Know when to learn a task because that's important as well. The 3 posts that we do is inspiration, information, entertainment, or interaction. I get my inspiration posts from Pinterest, seriously. And I always make sure that my post for next morning is done before I go to bed. That way I'm not constantly thinking like now that I'm back at work, I have to be able to wake up, post, and go. I'm not able to interact and do everything at work, so that's important to do when I get off. But I always have an idea every single day. Like Serena had that Katie that did her chart of her daily posting. That's really helpful to look back at. Don't overthink it, because you will lose time overthinking it, and then you get nowhere. I remember when I first started doing this, I had to think all day about one post, and then what? There's three posts that I wasn't able to do. Instagram was like off my chart because I was so focused on trying to get my content right to begin with, and that's okay to do. Just don't overthink it. Be yourself, live your life, and use that for your daily feed. Always pull at the heartstrings.
Shoot, the sound again, Leah. I'm sorry. um, can you hear me, Leah?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I can hear you now. Okay, you said always pull at the heartstrings. Start from there.
Yes, always. I don't know why it keeps cutting out. Always pull at the heartstrings. And I do that at nighttime because that's mostly when people are going to be like laying down and would rather read a longer post. If it's not something that's going to touch someone's heart, don't even worry about it, because it's not going to matter. They're just going to keep scrolling through it. We're changing lives, not just copying and pasting. And I want to add the whole Pinterest thing for inspiration in the morning. Put the quote and then add something to it. Like, for example, like, what are you doing today to grow your mind, after a mindset quote? And hold on. Sharing memes, that's a big thing. So I was meme queen, y'all. You can go all the way back to December and see nothing ever was anything else other than memes. It was really hard to not share something that I wanted to share, but I realized Facebook is my job, and if I'm oversharing stuff, the things that I want people to see is going to get lost in the sauce. So my alternative that I found worked best, because those memes I still wanted to share with people. That was me. That was like part of me. Screenshot it, stick it in your story. You can put anything and everything in your story, but do not share memes on your page. The only thing that you should be sharing is your written out content, pictures, and posts, period. Just don't do it. Facebook knows that you're copying. Facebook does not like when people share stuff. Another thing, don't share other Thriver stuff, because your audience might connect with the person that you shared their post and not even come to you. So always do your own posting, period. Getting excited about it. You have to have a tone in your posts that, like, my slang is different than Corinne's slang, and that's very noticeable in our posting. I can't do her Cardi B, okay, oh Kurt thing, like, that's just not me. So I cannot fake that. If I try, I mean, it's just not gonna work. People are like, she's fake, that's not her. So just stay intentional with yourself, your posting. If you're in a funk, use what you've already created on those days where you had time, to help you post on those days where you're in a funk. you have 5 minutes a day to be in the funk. After that, just move forward because it is going to affect your business. This is a business and you have to keep a healthy mindset. Is there anything I missed, Serena?
I don't think so. I thought that was so good. I think just the fact that Leah, took out other thrivers and she took herself out of this, like, okay, I can try to duplicate this. I can try to add in this. I can try to be this. She took all of that out. No distractions, put on her blinders, said, what makes me me? And she wrote out those things. She figured that out and then she went from there. And then as she like got in her groove and knew what she was about and what she represented, then she started adding other people in and could be, inspired by others and could, bounce off of people here and there. But she is so herself because she created that environment for herself to learn it. She took the time to figure things out and learn how to do stuff. She didn't know how to do Lightroom and like all those apps. Like she didn't know what she was doing, but she figured it out. And mind you, she figured it out on her own. I think, yes, you can absolutely use your resources. You can watch all the tutorials in the world. You can, give yourself that knowledge, but you also have to and you can ask your upline, you can ask for help, you can ask people, but you have to have that responsibility of, okay, here's what I need to do. It's my responsibility to learn this so that I can also teach it and so that I can apply it to my day-to-day stuff. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started, I had never used Lightroom. My dumbass spent $99 on presets. Okay, I didn't know that they were on Etsy. I didn't know I could get a full pack for like $3.99. Yeah. You live and you learn, okay? So, like, don't be afraid to learn. And, like, my first few graphics, they looked like butt. I was like, ew, this is busy. This is messy. I had to simplify it and then start adding in some backgrounds and then start adding in some stuff. And I still keep it pretty simple. Like, I like my stuff clean, bright, readable, not too long. Like, that's it for, like, my stories, all that stuff. Yeah, Leah, go in.
One more thing, though, with pictures. On your posting on your Facebook, do not put words on your pictures. It just looks bad.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and like you can learn that. I mean, like you can take a look at take a step back and be like, who catches your eye? Who do you see pictures of and you're like, I want to, create that version for myself. I'll do that sometimes if I'm like, okay, I'm tired of selfies. No one wants to see my big head. Like, let me mix it up a little bit so it's not just my face all over my Instagram. So I'll go through different people that inspire me or other like thrivers who I'm like, oh, I remember she took that bomb picture, and I'll save those and I'll kind of like recreate the pose, and then boom, I have like a whole bunch of different pictures, different angles. I'll use that self timer. I'll get the little remote thing that takes a bunch of pictures, and I'll just like start moving. Like me and Corinne were taking pictures, and I just started like wah 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 wah, and like some of them look crazy, but if you take them live, you can freeze it on the right moment, and like bam, you got a cool pic. So, and you're doing something other than like, you know what I'm saying? So like, don't be afraid to get creative. Don't be afraid to be a little silly. Like my neighbor saw me striking poses out in front of my door the other day. It was like low-key embarrassing, but I don't care. Like, Mr. Tinsley, it's all good. You don't pay my bills. Like, mind your business. If I'm out here in a Lily Pulitzer dress on my front porch, okay? Don't worry about it. So don't be afraid to get out there and get creative and practice, y'all. Like, your confidence comes from experience. And you're not going to have that confidence and you're not going to be an experienced anything unless you practice it. So just get in the habit of, building in some time to perfect a skill, or not perfect it. No one's perfect at anything, but you know what I mean? Just like get good at it to where you feel confident in what you're putting out there. Yeah. And like, I'm not even going to lie. I saw people like taking pictures at the beach, and I was watching them and I was like, oh my, like that is so funny. Like that's embarrassing watching them. Like I feel uncomfortable. I need to look away. But then I'm like, people see me doing that all the time. Like I'm out here striking a pose like in my busted neighborhood, but it's all good. Like just do it. Put yourself out there, make your own tripod. If you don't have one, I just got one from Corinne literally this past weekend. Up until then, here we are, like 10 months deep in this business. I was using my water bottle. I'd prop it up against my little Yeti and call it a day on the hood of my car. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna get the pick, okay? I don't care what I gotta do. So yeah, with content, like, just put your own spin on it, be you, get out of your comfort zone, like, move around, try different things. If it works, great. If it doesn't, try again. It's okay. Don't just throw things up. Don't just share. It jacks up your algorithm, I promise you. If it's so funny and you have to share it, like, throw it up on your story. I'll put stuff on my story all the time. I'll put like hilarious TikToks on my story all day long, and people will DM me and be like, yo, I love this one. I'm like, yeah, me too. And then we have that interaction and we bond. Okay, use it in a way that helps you, not hurts you. But yeah, I love Leah's story. I love that she just blocked it out and did her own thing and found herself in this, because people can sniff fake a mile away. Okay, like, they're gonna know if that's not you, especially people who you've been friends with for ages. They're like, she don't talk like that. So don't be afraid to be yourself and find your footing. Okay, keeping it moving. Taylor, she is my green bean machine. She knows everything. I'm very like yellow, red. I don't know if y'all have taken that test where it tells you what kind of worker you are, but like, I'm not detail oriented. I'm not focused. So Taylor is like the guru. Okay. She has all the tea for being knowledgeable about your checks, how commissions work, how VIPs work. So she's just going to do a quick debrief over that, so that y'all have a reference for when you need to answer those questions for your new girls. And if you're one of my new girls, Kaylee, pay attention, because I can't explain this the way Taylor can. I'm going to be honest. So Taylor, take it away, you beautiful tropical fish.
I love that. Thank you. Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be on here with you guys. So we're just going to jump right into this commission, how it works. I'm going to share my screen if that's cool, just so y'all can see what's up, if it works. Maybe. Oh, never mind. It's disabled. That's okay. So if you go into your back office, under resources, there is a document section, and under there is something called the rewards plan. And first page is where you'll find all the gold of this lovely business. It basically breaks down the commission and how it works, all the things. So I made a little graphic for you guys, but I can't share it, so that's okay. But basically, you get commission off of all of your orders, as well as all of your promoter and their downline orders. So, first things first is just make sure that you're commission qualified. That means 100 in personal volume that you have personally enrolled, whether it be your customers. Can I share it in the chat? Yes, I can definitely share it in there. So basically, first things first is the way to calculate BV, which is what commission is based off of, is just take the retail price and divide that by 2. So I'm going to give y'all an example, like a 3-step order, okay? That's $150. That divided by 2 is 75. So your BV on a 3-step order is 75 bucks. You get 20% on all of your personally enrolled customers. Okay, so 75 times 0.2 is 15 bucks. That's pretty good, right? Well, on top of that 20%, you also get an additional 4%. Why or what that means, I don't know, but it just says it in the chart, so whatever. So then I take 75, multiply that by 0.04, boom, 3 bucks. 15, which is the first one, plus $3 is $18. So you make $18 off of every 3-step order. Does that make sense so far? Cool. Okay. So if you're like, hey, I need to make like $100 a week or whatever, a month, whatever that is. If you have a goal and you know what you need, just break it down. Okay. $100 divided by 18. That's 5.5 orders, guys. 5.5 orders. That's an order a day. You can do that. Like, you can do that. If you put it on a piece of paper, draw your little thermometer. Okay, I'm weird. I'm probably the only person in the world that does this, but draw your boxes. Check off your box. Fill it in. You have it down. I promise that you will hit it, because nothing feels better than checking off a box or filling it in. I promise you that. So that really helps me. I hope that helps you guys understand commission. Obviously, you make a certain percentage off of your downlines orders as well. So that's listed in the rewards plan. Your downline, like your promoters, customer orders, you make 12% off of theirs plus the 4. So for that, I just do 1675 times 0.16. That'll give you that total. So y'all don't want to do a math lesson, but that's how you calculate your commission. If you have a big promo going on, like we just did, and there's like credits being thrown around all over the freaking place, it's amazing for your volume. But just keep in mind that your commission will look a little bit different, just because commission is calculated by BV, but they also subtract any credits that are used during those promos. So it will be a little bit less, but they do that to help us reach ranks. They do that to help us get those wheels spinning. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. So that's that. Fast start bonuses are freaking awesome, guys. If you don't know what these are, you need to be playing the game, okay? Except it's not a game. We love this company. Yes. So every time that you enroll a promoter, you get a bonus, okay? If they get the starter pack, $200, you get $30. If they get the promoter pack, $400, you get $80. And so on and so forth. Sometimes the company will do like double fast starts. If you ever hear that term in the chat, it means you get 30 times 2, 80 times 2. It's freaking bomb. Yes, no company does that. So that's fast start bonuses. Next is kind of, I want to talk about like mindset and knowing your paycheck. So obviously now y'all know like how to calculate, your commission and all that, and how to break it down based on how many orders you need. And so something that really blew my freaking world last month was stacking customers. And if you don't know what that term means, I'm about to tell you because it's freaking awesome. So we have a referral program. I always tell my customers whenever I give them pricing, our referral program is freaking bomb, okay? You refer to anybody that wants to try this with you by the end of the month, and you will get it free, okay? That means you get an average of your 2 highest orders, and then you get it on the second. Like, it's yours. You get that credit. You can use it on yourself, or you can gift it to people. So first, when I started this business, I was like super into these, like, okay, credits, what can I buy? Like, what are all the things I want to try? And while that's awesome, we're here to change lives. And so something that I did not figure out until last month was that my duty was to myself and to feel better, but there's only so much that I need to be able to do that. And so if I have $200 in credits in my account and I have $100 on my husband's account, I'm going to figure out a way to split that up to where I can give my customers a little piece of that, and so the biggest thing that the company talks about, yes, it's a blessing to be able to bless others. So the company talks about new customers, focus on the new. Retention is amazing. But what I found out was that you can do both. So when my customers order, I let them know about the referral program. I let them know, hey, let me know when you get your stuff in. They tell me, I got my stuff in. Great. Snap a selfie with your patron. They throw up a post. People freaking out. They see them at work. People freaking out. Great. So when they refer that one customer, I almost always will put another customer under them. Sometimes I tell them that, sometimes I don't, just depending on how motivated they are and how much they really like the product. But if I can help that one person get a referral and they bring me another customer, that just tripled my volume. So not only does it help my wheel and my business, but it also helps 2 other people start to thrive and figure out what the heck we got going on, right? So that has just been really, really awesome, just because if you do that with every customer, they get that free product credit on the second. And that almost 98% guarantees if they have free product credit, they're gonna order next month. That's called retention. And retention is what keeps your business freaking fire, okay, guys? So do it as much as you can. If you can share credits, great. If you can break it down by like, hey, I need 5 orders a week and I've got 200 credits, like take $10, boop, free shipping, you know, throw it to here and there, you know, help your people out a little bit. And I promise that you will be gifted in return. I know it's hard because sometimes it's like, oh, I really need some shakes. Like, get you those shakes, but help your people out if you can. And if you can't, that's totally okay. You will get there. And just by loving on them and continuing to just freaking like do this thing, you know what I mean? So I think that was pretty much, oh, VIPs was the only other thing. It's super easy, minimum of 800 in volume, 2 promoter packs, and that leaves 400 in volume. That can be 4 $100 packs on the 2-week. It can be 2 3-step customers plus a $100 order, like whatever you, it can be freaking like 10 detox. I don't care, but y'all figure it out, and it's super, super doable. You can do that times 2 in your first 2 weeks, and bam, that's $800. There you go. So hope that helps, and I love you guys.
Thank you so much, Taylor. You are literally a genius. Like, you were doing that math and I was like, I'm gonna have to replay this because I was in like special math, y'all. It's fine. So I'm just gonna be so honest. Taylor is like a freaking genius, but she is resourceful. She figures that stuff out. Me personally, I'm like I said, I'm not detail oriented. So I just like make my money. I keep it going. I'm not here trying to calculate my check. But for some people, they have to understand that, or else they're frustrated. They have to understand how it works. And I get that, because there's certain things that I'm like, if I don't understand this, I'm going to be like, it's going to bother me. So I'm so thankful that we have people like Taylor who can help us figure that out, help us break it down. I'm going to rewatch it so I remember how to do all the math, because I was trying to write all fancy and then she went quick and then I lost. So I'm going to have to go back. But Taylor, thank you so much. That was so helpful. So to wrap it up, I'm going to have Corinne pop in here and just kind of talk about like knowing how to duplicate what you're bringing in. Corinne is like fly baby bird. She like has built her own team. She does it all on her own. She's never been handed anything, and she's killing it. And so she's duplicating that. And so she's going to touch on that, how and where to be hands-on and where to have those boundaries, because that's really important as well. So Corinne, take it away, queen.
Okay, so I'm super excited to pop on here and talk with you guys. You guys kind of already know how I am. I'm just like a very go-getting personality. I don't have time to shoot the shit. I just have time to get it done. And it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I'm going to get it done regardless. I don't let life get in the way. Something that has really, really helped me duplicate was always showing up, guys. I mean, there's nothing better that I can say than always showing up. It's really hard to duplicate a team if you as their leader is not showing up. If you are not showing up, you're not posting, you're not on these MMMs. I'm sorry, I'll reiterate what MMMs are. I know that we talk about this a lot, but they are morning and evening meetings that we have every single day, Monday through Friday. If you are ever confused, if you are ever lost, if you were ever wondering, what do I do? What are daily IPAs? Please, please, please make it a point to hop on those. That is what they're for. They're not for all of us just to sit here and chat and be besties. No, it's about us teaching people how to work their business. which is going to help you produce income producing activities that Quinn has talked about, while also being authentic, which what ties into what Leah talked about, to where you're going to be making that money, which ties in what Taylor was talking about. All of this ties in together of you showing up. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to be resourceful. If you are not going to be resourceful, this business is going to be very hard for you. This is like an actual job. You're going to go to your corporate America job and you're going to sit at a desk 9 to 5. I don't know what you do, whatever you do, work in medical. I know I was in healthcare, all of that. We all went through training, right? We all had to learn to work on our own, right? Then that's something that we have to do here. We have to learn that, which means that we start by being resourceful. We start by attending Zooms. We start by doing the things that we know we need to be doing every single day. And I love what Quinn touched on in earlier is that she was doing it, but was she being intentional? So I want you to think about this every single day. Are you being intentional with your business, or is this something that's put on the back burner? So let's be honest with ourselves. Let's have that talk in the mirror of saying, okay, am I really actually giving this 100%? Am I actually really interacting and adding and doing the things I need to be doing daily to grow my business? Or am I just doing it just to check it off? Definitely always being intentional, because you want to know what, you guys are, I know a lot of you, I know I'm home from corporate America, but I didn't get home from corporate America because I was lazy. I didn't get home from corporate America. I stay home because I just sit and I'm not intentional with what I do every single day. What you do now is between this and and if you still work for corporate America, I think that's great. But I want you to know that you could triple what you make at corporate America in just a month here. So just know that working with intention and doing that, you're going to give 100% to corporate America, but you're not going to give 100% to something that can actually bring you home forever, produce a savings account, do things like this and that for you. This could pay off your debt. This could pay off your car. This could do so many different things for you, which means that's where it all starts, is working with intent. And when you work with intent, you're going to duplicate. You're going to duplicate leaders. People down the line are going to see your example and say, hey, I want to be like that. So if you're not showing up, you're not doing those things, and you're just doing things to mark off a list, then you're not going to make it far. And I also want to touch on, definitely being leadership, like leaders, okay? You're a leader the second you step in here. I don't care if you don't have a team or not. We all started somewhere. We all started at that promoter button with nobody behind us. But we all stepped into that leadership knowing, hey, I know if I come in here and I carry myself as I'm a leader, and I carry myself as if I'm a badass bee, even though no one might not know me, people are going to be gravitated to that. People are gravitated to confidence. Okay? So go out there, be confident, work this business, be excited, show passion. If you're not going to show passion, you lack excitement, you lack confidence, I'm sorry. I know I've said it before. I can smell fear from a mile away. I can smell fear with a few of you on here now. Step out of that shell. Be ready. Be excited. Get out there. Be yourself. There is nobody else that's you, and that's your power. Okay? Share your story. Be vulnerable, be excited. Were there some things that I didn't want to share and that I still don't like to share? Absolutely. But you want to know what? That's what makes my story who I am and where I am today. So always being intentional, always sharing your story, being authentic, quit copying and pasting, own you, own yourself, find yourself. And if you ever feel like you're in that funk, you're in that, I don't know where I stand, that's the time you pick up a book. That's the time that you throw on a podcast, get your mind right, be excited, because what we have our hands on here is way different than what I had in my last company. Okay. So, and I was a top leader back in our last company, and moving over here, it's a whole different world over here that you will never find anywhere else. What we have our hands on here is pure gold. When I mean gold, I mean gold. There is no other place that does no auto ships. There's no other that forced, okay? Like, your customers aren't locked into anything here, and neither are you. You're not having to pay a website fee every single month. I know Taylor, Serena, and I paid website fees, and we paid auto ships. A lot of them. Sometimes our whole check to buy our rank. But anyway, after that, we don't have charts here. You're not defeated by a chart every single month, okay? We're not co-messaging 400 to 500 people a day. Holla freaking Luya. I don't want you to be a hair product tester. I'm going to pop in your inbox to tell you your shirt's cute, and I'm going to start a conversation with you because I think you're cute, and I think you're cool, and I think you're fun. This is about making genuine relationships. It's not slimy where we're like, oh, hey, like buy my weight loss stuff. No, this is an overall health like management. This isn't weight loss, buy my pills and lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I don't know. I forgot what that crap was. But like we have wearable nutrition here too. No other company has this. Own it, sis. Own it. That's why we have it. Okay? Be excited with what you have your hands on and go out there and duplicate that. Because you're not going to duplicate anything if you are not excited, you lack passion, you lack confidence, and you come in not willing to learn, and you're not resourceful. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and look up the ingredients of Sculpt for you. That's something we have in our back cloud that you can go look up yourself. You can look up auto versus retail. We give you guys a lot of things. This is just a few housekeeping things. We give you guys a lot of graphics and stuff that I'm going to re-put in the chat tonight at the forefront, okay? I'm going to do this tonight for y'all just because you want to know what? I want everyone saving these in their notes because this is really going to help you guys. I'm going to put my product descriptions. I'm going to put the prices I all typed out all for you guys in here today to help you guys out, okay? Please, please, please save it, okay? It's gonna help grow your business and you can also duplicate it down the line to your girls. Because when your girls come in, they're gonna be like, hey, I don't know any of this. That's awesome, that's cool, I have it in my notes, here you go. Save it, like, so that they know when they sign someone up, hey, I have this whole thing of product descriptions already typed out, here you go. Be vigilant. Okay, that is why we do this. Okay, that's why we have M&Ms. Sorry, that's why we have M&Ms. That's why we have all those things. Is to help you guys duplicate your businesses. Okay, so please, if you guys have any questions, we're here for you guys. We love you guys. We want you guys to grow your teams. Every person on here is 4K and above. Okay, I don't even look at ranks, but each and every one of you are worthy and you're deserving. You guys deserve this. Now let's go out and let's do it. Okay. I love you guys and I'm here for you guys always.
Yes. Okay. I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, like Corinne said, I think it's important. Like, let's just put it into perspective for a second. Technically, Corinne and I started around the same time. She came in like 2 days later and she signed up with me. Look how big her team is. Do you think I would be down with training every single one of y'all that I didn't even enroll? Hell no. I would be like, Corinne, you are out of your mind. You better figure out how to train these people that you're bringing in yourself. Like, she never comes to me like, hey, what's the ingredients for this? Hey, how do I show them how to create a post? Hey, can you let them know? Like, no, she trains them. Quinn trains her people. I train my people. Like, that's just how it goes. But like, do you think it's gonna look good if I'm like, ooh, I don't got any answers for you. Let me go ask my upline, or let me have you talk to my upline. Like, no, y'all, you got to be resourceful. You got to know what you're talking about, because how are you going to duplicate and grow your team and empower other women if you're not empowering yourself? Like, you have to have that knowledge. So I think that is so huge. I think that's so important. I think believing in yourself, is like the biggest step. Believing in yourself, being confident in yourself, putting yourself out there, giving yourself that experience to grow in these areas. That's what's going to help you build that confidence. And I'll never tell y'all, like, just fake it till you make it. Like, I think that's bullshit. But I am going to tell you, you can reframe your story. You can reframe how you talk to yourself. You can build that confidence. You can grow your mind and grow how you talk to yourself and grow how you think of yourself. Deborah, we will link you, girl. Don't you stress. Don't let us forget. Ask us in the chat too about what specifically you're wanting to find more info on, and we will link you to that. But yeah, I'm so proud of y'all. I love the leadership I see here. I love that I don't have to sit here and like try to pull it out of you. I don't have to pull anyone to show up to work. Your leaders don't have to pull you to show up to work. Like, you're here, you're willing to learn, you're coachable. And that's the first step in leadership, is being willing to be coachable so that you can help others grow in the way that you're growing right now. And for those of you who are going super fast, like, these things are going to really, really help you teach your people the same things that you're learning. And then, like, even if you're not mass enrolling, you're not growing as rapidly, you're still growing. And this kind of stuff and being knowledgeable is what's going to prepare you for that bigger team and prepare you to teach others. So again, if anyone feels like they need to grow in certain areas or training, work one-on-one with your upline. Focus on what it is specifically you want to know. Ask in the training, and then take action. Put yourself out there. All right, it is 9:07. We have an MMM to hop on. We can do more specific trainings on different areas with this team specifically, because, like, y'all, this is growing rapidly, and I love seeing y'all step out of your comfort zones. So we'll just keep it in-house for a while and focus on our team and our growth. So yeah, let's get it. Let's go over to that MMM. I'll send the code for my new girls, and we'll just go work intentionally. And yes, thank you all so much for popping in here and showing up. Love y'all. Bye.